Hey everyone, welcome to Logan's Mosh Pit. Glad to have you here. Or as Dr. Now would say, hello, how y'all doing? Today I'm going to show you the first half of my CD collection. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and I finally got around to it. These merch videos are long overdue. Obviously it takes a long time to listen to a bunch of albums all the way through from start to finish. That explains the delay. Some people organize their CDs by genre, some do it by album title, by band title, maybe from oldest to most recent album, perhaps from lightest to heaviest. It all depends on the person. There's no one right or wrong way to do it. But I put my CDs in a different order. You see, I organize my CDs alphabetically based on the title of the third song on each album. Just kidding. I actually arrange them alphabetically by the name of the band. So physical copies of CDs are becoming more rare with each passing year. CDs are definitely not obsolete by any means, but they get closer every year. The odds of meeting someone who listens exclusively to CDs now is much more slim compared to the 20th century. The emergence of endless music apps, including Spotify, Google Play Music, Apple Music, YouTube Music, SoundCloud, Shazam, Pandora, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM, etc. There's so many options out there. This has made it more convenient and faster than ever to hear your favorite songs for free. So it makes sense why physical album ownership has sharply declined over the years. It's like, why wait and pay for something that you can hear now for free? This has created a significant divide between the baby boomers and Gen X versus the millennials and Gen Z. Baby boomers and Gen X are more likely to own and cherish CDs versus millennials and Gen Z, who are more likely to embrace the various music streaming apps. I used to listen only to albums, physical copies of albums, until 3 years ago when I made the transition to Spotify and YouTube as my primary source of listening to music. CDs are now currently my backup, just in case my phone dies or I want to hear a specific song. I'll still pull out the CD occasionally and pop it into a CD player. I don't possess that many CDs, about 30. My dad, on the other hand, he has about 10 times that amount. So here's how this is going to work. In the first part of this video, we're going to go through my CD collection A through M. Then in part 2, which will probably be posted next Wednesday, hopefully, we'll go through N through Z. So that's how it'll go. I'm going to give you some basic information about each CD and then go through the track listing and tell you my favorite and least favorite song from each particular CD that I show you. Keep in mind when I say my favorite and least favorite song from each album, I mean in the context of that album. My favorite song doesn't necessarily mean that I'm head over heels for that song. Likewise, my least favorite song doesn't necessarily mean I hate that song. So why don't we get started? I gotta warn you though, some of these albums are in pretty rough shape. So if you're offended by album abuse, stop watching. You've been warned. Why don't we kick things off with Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic. This album came out in 1975. It was their third studio album. It went 8 times platinum in the US, contained the singles Sweet Emotion, Walk This Way, and You See Me Crying. Let's go over the full track listing. Toys in the Attic, Uncle Salty, Adam's Apple, Walk This Way, Big 10-inch Record, Sweet Emotion, No More, No More, Round and Round, and You See Me Crying. So, my favorite song from that album, Toys in the Attic, is Adam's Apple. And my least favorite song from this album is Walk This Way. Let's move on to Alice in Chains, Dirt. This album was released back in 1992. It was their second studio album. It went 4 times platinum in the US. Had the singles Wood, Them Bones, Angry Chair, Rooster, and Down in a Hole. For the track listing, Them Bones, Damn That River, Rain When I Die, Down in a Hole, Sick Man, Rooster, Junkhead, Dirt, Godsmack, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, and Wood. So, my favorite song off Dirt is Damn That River. And my least favorite song is Sick Man. Okay, next up, we got another Alice in Chains, Facelift, their debut album. This was released back in 1990. It went 2 times platinum in the US, sold 2 million copies. Had the singles We Die Young, Man in the Box, Sea of Sorrow, and Bleed the Freak. The full track listing is We Die Young, Man in the Box, Sea of Sorrow, Bleed the Freak, I Can't Remember, Love Hate Love, It Ain't Like That, Sunshine, Put You Down, Confusion, I Know Something About You, and Real Thing. My favorite song off this album is Sea of Sorrow, and my least favorite song is Confusion. Let's keep it going. This time we got Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies. Can you tell I like Alice in Chains? Jar of Flies was released in 1994. It was their second EP. It went 3 times platinum in the US. Contained the singles No Excuses, I Stay Away, and Don't Follow. The full track listing is really short. Rotten Apple, Nutshell, I Stay Away, No Excuses, Whale and Wasp, Don't Follow, and Swing on This. Out of those 7 tracks, my favorite song is I Stay Away, and my least favorite is Whale and Wasp. Next up, we got just the CD. Some of these I lost the case. This is one of them. The Backstreet Boys, Black and Blue, which is probably what a lot of you want to make me look like for bringing them up. A lot of people are critical about the Backstreet Boys. I just like their catchy songs. Put you in a good mood when you listen to it. You gotta have some feel-good songs, right? This is an easy recommendation for feel-good songs. So anyway, this album came out in 2000. It was technically their 4th studio album, their 3rd in America. It went 8 times platinum in the US. Had the singles Shape of My Heart, The Call, and More Than That. The full track listing for Black and Blue is The Call, Shape of My Heart, Get Another Boyfriend, Shining Star, I Promise You with Everything I Am, The Answer to Our Life, Everyone, More Than That, Time, Not For Me, Yes I Will, It's True, and How Did I Fall in Love with You. So, my favorite song off that album is the very last one, How Did I Fall in Love with You, and my least favorite track is More Than That. Let's move on to another Backstreet Boys album. I can hear you guys groaning. This time, Millennium, released in 1999. It was the Backstreet Boys' third album, second in the US. To this day, I still don't know how the Backstreet Boys managed to fit 1,000 years worth of music into a 48-minute album. I don't know. Anyway, this album went 13 times platinum in the US. Had the singles I Want It That Way, Larger Than Life, Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely, and The One. Let's go through the track listing real quick. We got Larger Than Life, I Want It That Way, Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely, It's Gotta Be You, I Need You Tonight, Don't Want You Back, Don't Want to Lose You Now, The One, Back to Your Heart, Spanish Eyes, No One Else Comes Close, and The Perfect Fan. So, from those options, as my favorite song, I picked It's Gotta Be You, and my least favorite track is No One Else Comes Close. Alright, let's move on to Dear Agony by Breaking Benjamin. This album was released back in 2009, Breaking Benjamin's fourth studio album. Sold 1 million copies in the US. Had the singles I Will Not Bow, Give Me a Sign, and Lights Out. How did I do that? Okay, calm down. Deep breaths. That's better. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, track listing for Dear Agony. Here we go. Fade Away, I Will Not Bow, Crawl, Give Me a Sign, Hopeless, What Lies Beneath, Anthem of the Angels, Lights Out, Dear Agony, Into the Nothing, and Without You. Out of those, my favorite song has to be Fade Away, along with my least favorite song, What Lies Beneath. Next up, we got the second Breaking Benjamin album we're going to talk about today, Phobia, the predecessor to Dear Agony. Ironically, none of the titles on the album Phobia are actual phobias. Whatever. It was released in 2006, Breaking Benjamin's third studio album. It shifted 1 million copies in the US. Had the singles The Diary of Jane, Breathe, and Until the End. Full track listing goes Intro, The Diary of Jane, Breathe, You, Evil Angel, Until the End, Dance with the Devil, Topless, Here We Are, Unknown Soldier, Had Enough, You Fight Me, and Outro. My favorite song on there is You, and my least favorite, You Fight Me. Next up, we got Glory Define, the best of Building 429. Even though this album technically starts with a G, we're arranging the albums. If you remember by the name of the band, Building 429 is the name. So it goes in the B section. This is actually a compilation album. They're a Christian rock band. I grew up in a really religious family, so that shows the reason why I got this album. I really wanted it. A compilation album released in 2008 contains songs off their 5 previous studio albums. absolutely no singles at all. Apparently not enough faith in their songs. The full track listing is Glory to Find, Show Me Love, Above It All, No One Else Knows, The Space in Between Us, Shadow of Angels, Fearless, I Belong to You, I Believe, You Carried Me, Singing Over Me, Majesty, Power of Your Name, Grace That Is Greater, and bonus Glory to Find. Alternate version. So my favorite song on the Best of Building 429 compilation album is Fearless, and my least favorite song paired with that is Above It All. Next up, we got a big boy album. Brace yourselves. Def Leppard, Hysteria, released in 1987, their fourth album. It sold 12 million copies here in America, had the singles Animal, Women, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Hysteria, Armageddon It, Love Bites, and Rocket. The full track listing was Women, Rocket, Animal, Love Bites, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Armageddon It, Gods of War, Don't Shoot Shotgun, Run Riot, Hysteria, Excitable, and Love and Affection. They also included the exact length of each song in parentheses, in case you want to figure out if you have enough time to listen to the full album, if you can squeeze it into your schedule. Okay then. So my favorite song off Hysteria is Rocket, and my least favorite song is Don't Shoot Shotgun. Next up, we got the predecessor to Hysteria, Def Leppard, Pyromania. Big fan of this album. I think it's equally impressive to Hysteria, even though Hysteria was often hailed as the greater of the two. It was released in 1983, their third album. Certified diamond in the US for selling 10 million copies. Had the singles Photograph, Rock of Ages, Foolin', and Too Late for Love. Full track listing is Rock Rock Till You Drop, Photograph, Stage Fright, Too Late for Love, Die Hard the Hunter, Foolin', Rock of Ages, Coming Under Fire, Action Not Words, and Billy's Got a Gun. So my favorite song off this album is Foolin', and my least favorite song is Stage Fright. Next up, how about a little Evolution from Ghost Town? This album was released in 2015, their third album, their most recent album, their latest album, hopefully not their last album. It didn't perform very well. It sold less than 500,000 copies, not even certified gold. Still great though. Had the singles Spark and Mean Kids. Full track listing is Spark, Evolution, Mean Kids, Out Alive, Human, Loner, Internet Pirates, Interlude, Candles, Down, and Let Go. So on Evolution, my favorite song happens to be Loner, and my least favorite song, Internet Pirates. Next up, we got another Ghost Town album, The After Party. Came out in 2014, Ghost Town's sophomore album. It also sold less than gold. Unfortunate. Had the singles Acid, I'm Weird, Carnival, Under Wraps, and a new version of You're So Creepy. Full track listing is Acid, I'm Weird, Carnival, That's Unusual, Jump, You're So Creepy, Under Wraps, Black Moon, Hocus Pocus, Dracula, WFF, and I'm a Disaster. So out of those, for my favorite, I picked Black Moon, and my least favorite, Carnival. We got a few more here. We're in the home stretch. This one technically isn't an album. It's a DVD, 2-disc set. Jimi Hendrix Live at Woodstock. Too cool not to include. I figured, why not? Might as well mention this. There are 2 discs on here. All the songs were played in 1969 at Woodstock, obviously. On the first disc, he had songs Message to Love, Spanish Castle Magic, Red House, Lover Man, Foxy Lady, Jam Back at the House, Isabella, Fire, Voodoo Child, Star Spangled Banner, Purple Haze, Woodstock Improvisation, Villanova Junction, and Hey Joe. The second disc is a little more thorough, a little more detailed, just adds some extra features. Exact same track listing with the addition of Hear My Train A-Comin'. That's the only difference. So out of those, I picked Spanish Castle Magic as my absolute favorite song that Jimmy performed, and for my least favorite song, Hey Joe. Sorry, not crazy about Hey Joe, never have been. If you like it, more power to you. Set this one to the side. Next we got Linkin Park, One More Light. Came out in 2017. Of course, Linkin Park's seventh and final studio album. Chester Bennington passed away shortly after this album was released. Linkin Park was no more. This went gold in the US, had the singles Heavy, Talking to Myself, and the title track One More Light. Full track listing goes Nobody Can Save Me, Good Goodbye, Talking to Myself, Battle Symphony, Invisible, Heavy, Sorry for Now, Halfway Right, One More Light, and Sharp Edges. My favorite song off One More Light is Battle Symphony, and my least favorite song, One More Light, the title track. I don't have anything against the title track, One More Light. The reason why it's my least favorite, it's just too sad. I can't listen to it without crying. That song just means so much more after Chester Bennington left us. So that song, just too hard to listen to for me. Next up, we got another standalone CD, but a good one. My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade, came out in 2006. Their third studio album went triple platinum in the US, contained the singles Welcome to the Black Parade, Famous Last Words, I Don't Love You, and Teenagers. The full track list goes Disenchanted, Famous Last Words, The End, Dead, This Is How I Disappear, The Sharpest Lives, Welcome to the Black Parade, I Don't Love You, House of Wolves, Cancer, Mama, Sleep, Teenagers, and that's it. My favorite song off Welcome to the Black Parade is Sleep, which I want to do soon. And my least favorite song, Mama. Sorry, Mom. Finally, the last album in part one, My Darkest Days, Sick and Twisted Affair. It was released in 2012, My Darkest Days' second and most recent album. Possibly their last album. Hope they release more music someday. Unlikely though, since Matt Walsh went to 3 Days Grace. It sold less than 500,000 copies in the US, not gold. Had the singles Casual Sex and the title track Sick and Twisted Affair. The full track listing is Sick and Twisted Affair, Save Yourself, Casual Sex, Stutter, Nature of the Beast, Perfect, Again, Gone, Love Crime, Rolling Stoned, Casual Sex, Rock Mix, Like Nobody Else, and Every Lie. So my favorite song off Sick and Twisted Affair has to be Again, And my least favorite track, Stutter. So, that does it for part 1, guys. Part 2, with my CD collection N through Z, will probably come out next week, so stay tuned for that. Let me know down in the comments what albums you own, if any. I would really like to know that. That does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Until then, rock on.